Today, the discussion is around the software lifecycle and an important aspect of the way we build software. There's a deliberate step-by-step way how software come about that every business, every company, every engineering institution must follow to ensure that software is going to deliver on what's being promised. The first phase is going to be gathering requirements and understanding what the needs are for the customer. One thing I've learned early on, never ask the user what they want, but discover what they need. You have to discover the key capabilities that are necessary for the business to succeed. What are the features the necessary features that are needed, but also what are the constraints? You can't just go and build an application because it's nice to have. We need to understand who are the users? What kind of users? Who will benefit from this? Who's gonna need to manage this application when we're done? So there's a role here that's very important in this early stage, is what you call the business analyst or the functional architect that need to discover the key functionality that's needed by this application. The analyst is gonna be responsible for gathering these requirements, for documenting the requirements, conducting interviews, talking to the customer, facilitating these workshops, and engaging the stakeholders. A stakeholder is not necessarily going to be a user. It's the easiest time to make a change in this early phase. Because if you make mistakes in the requirements and you see it through an implementation, it's so hard to go back and fix that. And this is where projects succeed and fail. And we have to do it right. Second phase is going to be to focus on the design, how these requirements are going to translate to technical designs. This is where the designer comes in, or what you might call a solution architect, where they have to look at these requirements and see how they're going to be mapped to what we call specifications or models for these specifications. There are different techniques that you can master in this phase. No solution thinking yet. Is primarily what's involved here. Only after a thorough examination that the solution architect can select the appropriate technology stack, platforms, databases, tools, and the like. We're going from general requirements, features, and benefits to high-level design that will lend themselves to technical specifications next. In other words, translating social issue in digital design is the challenge. Then we get into the build phase, where things have to happen right now. We know our database. We know our programming language. You know what the design looks like. And it's about time to start the coding process. And this is where we begin to see the first prototypes of the application. Now we move on to testing, an important step in the software development lifecycle, because this application needs to fulfill the requirements, functional requirements, security requirements, safety requirements. There are two phases in testing. There's testing to be done by the developers for the code that they write, but then you have the quality assurance team that will take over. The quality assurance team tend to be the business analyst in the front phase of the application. It's the most effective way to ensure that the quality assurance is done correctly, is to involve the business analyst during that phase. Build the models, map the models to code, deploy the application, and start running, and go back and repeat that over and over again. The product is out and in an open environment for further testing and quality assurance. Generally, developers should fail early rather than late in the later stages of the cycle, to give the team enough time to recover from mistakes and save time and resources. Then we get into the other phase, continued support and feedback for an improved product. So performing these 5 steps in order is what's called the water flow model in software development, because things are done in sequential. We finish the requirements and then we move to design. But building application this way takes a long time with a lot of risk. So a better approach is needed. This is what's known as the agile methodology. Agile in the sense you want to deliver value quickly. With the agile methodology, we have very specific steps how to deliver quickly. Deliver less, but deliver value. Repeat these steps in building and testing and deploying to deliver incremental value throughout. Right? Why? Because in this way, we keep the client engaged and excited with each new version. In this course, we will learn how to start small and grow your design and solution in small steps.